Chex Quest is just one of those games that you kind of just had to be there to appreciate it. Now, the original was a pack-in with Chex cereal in North America back in 1996 and was more or less a kid-friendly version of Doom. Now, like many of you, I'm sure, I got the game back in the day and enjoyed it quite a bit. Now, Chex Quest HD is a reimagining of the original, brought to life via Unreal Engine 4 with modern assets and controls. The game is available right now on PC and Mac on Steam for free, and is also out right now on the Nintendo Switch. Now today, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about this reimagined classic on Nintendo's platform. Let's take a look. Danny from the Famicast here. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Sound off in the comments down below, and we may read it out on our bi-weekly show called the Famicast. Today, though, we're taking a look at Chex Quest HD on the Nintendo Switch in this review. Now, the world of Chex Quest kind of thrust players into a galaxy where breakfast cereals and snacks are facing a sinister threat. A cereal-eating menace called the Flemoids have taken over the planet Bazoik, and as a member of the Chex Mix squad, it's your job to take out as many of them as you can and save the other members of your team. Now, like I said before, this is a complete reimagining of the original game from yesteryear with modern enhancements in almost every possible way. It's not going to win any awards when it comes to story and narrative and stuff like that, but it's fun nonetheless. Now, the controls in Chex Quest HD feel pretty intuitive and I think are on par with most first-person shooters nowadays that you'll find. Now, the game uses a dual analog setup with actions assigned to face and shoulder buttons. So ZL and ZR, they shoot, L and R cycle through weapons, B jumps, and Y is used to interact with panels and also open doors and stuff like that. Movement might seem a little bit slow on the default settings, but you can easily change these in the option. I mean, overall, things feel pretty good and you'll get the hang of things in no time. Chex Quest HD is a pretty chill game. Now, while there are quite a few different enemy types that you will have to take out along the way, nothing ever really feels hectic or anything like that. I mean, the enemies themselves also move pretty slowly, which makes it pretty easy to take them out, even if you're getting swarmed. Now, to help you take out these gooey little guys, you're actually given a handful of weapons to Zorch them back into another dimension. Now, these range from like a single shot blaster type of thing to like a shotgun, like a machine gun, and even a spoon that takes place of a knife. And now, keeping an eye on your ammo is paramount, as it can be pretty easy to fire too early and too often and just kind of find yourself kind of out of ammo. But I'd say, even with that said, as long as you're kind of being careful, ammunition, health pickups, and armor, they're pretty generously placed throughout the level, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem there. Now, there are a total of 5 stages on offer here, and there are actually 6 playable characters that you can choose from right off the bat. Now, the stages themselves are pretty varied and full of keys to collect and secrets to find. Now, the different characters, I think they feel pretty similar, and the biggest difference you might find is simply that their appearances in the cutscenes are different, and maybe their jumps might be a little bit different too. I mean, overall, Chex Quest HD, it's a pretty short game, but I think it doesn't overstay its welcome in that regard. I mean, things can be finished here in around an hour or so if you're going through with like each character. If you play through with, every character, it's an hour per character, so there. Now, there actually are some local multiplayer options thrown into the package with a versus and co-op mode. I didn't really have anybody around to try out the versus, but I did actually try out the co-op. Now, oddly enough, this is essentially like a horde mode where you'll face off against waves and waves of enemies. Now, this can be done by yourself, which is how I played it, or you can play it with, 3 other people. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but it does add a bit more to the package, and it's pretty fun. Now, in terms of visuals, I think the presentation in Chex Quest HD is actually quite nice. I mean, character models look and animate smoothly, and the environments look pretty decent here too. Now, for the most part, the game runs smoothly, just generally speaking, though there were some times when the game would get a little bit choppy. I kind of noticed this in the second and the fourth stages. Mainly, and it seems mainly that these are kind of triggered when playing through like larger areas of the map. I mean, aside from that, things are more or less fine. Now, the story cutscenes here, I think they're pretty well done. Things are presented with like this semi-animated cutscene and cutscenes, I should say, and they kind of basically tell you everything you need to know about the world and what's going on and all that type of stuff. I think audio here is actually pretty decent too, with some occasional funny one-liners from the characters and some just nice voice acting overall. Sound effects can sound a little bit underwhelming, or for lack of better words, old, like this kind of like low quality, but I think they get the job done. Now, Chex Quest HD, it's a fun little romp that'll keep you busy for a few playthroughs. I mean, the added multiplayer might help you get a little bit more mileage out of the game here too. So if you're looking to try the game in general, I'd suggest maybe trying it out on Steam. as it is free there, and then maybe deciding if you want to pick it up on Switch, if you think it's worth it to actually throw down some cold hard cash. Now, you know, when I first heard about this remake, I was really thinking this would be kind of like a port of the original in a similar way that we've seen with games like Doom 64 or other classic shooters that we've seen kind of modern platforms here recently. I mean, obviously, as you can tell from this footage, this isn't that. And, you know, honestly, I think that's fine. I think regardless, if you're itching to get back into zapping some Flimoids, I think Chex Quest HD is a mostly stress-free game that you should check out if you have any nostalgia for the original, or if you have any kids that you want to basically let them try out like a kind of like a friendly shooter. This is definitely something that would fit that, I think. Now, as always, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you like what you see, please feel free to drop this video a like. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. We've got tons of podcasts, video reviews, looks at Japanese games and the gaming scene here, and a whole lot more. Now, again, this is Danny from the Famicast. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.
There it is. I knew it.
That's ridiculous. Everyone knows CDs went extinct during Y2K. How'd that get up there? Let's see what's on it.